What's up, guys? TheDevildogGamer here. Gamescom 2017 has come and passed, and one of the greatest things about Gamescom, of course, is the Star Citizen presentation. And this year was definitely something awesome. We've been waiting for 3.0 and the planet side to actually show up for a while now, and it's been getting pushed back. And this presentation was really just kind of seeing where all that work has really led to. And it showed a lot of 3.0 stuff and 3.0 and beyond, so a lot of the things we'll talk about, maybe things that are coming in 3.1, 3.4, you know, farther on down the road. But a lot of the 3.0 stuff is there, and there were some technical difficulties, and that's kind of what happens when you go live, especially a game like Star Citizen where they're doing so much crazy shit. You know shit's gonna happen. And it was kind of funny, but at the same time, you know, the naysayers are gonna be like, oh, that just makes Star Citizen shit. No, it doesn't. But anyways, we saw a lot of things like Idris actually landing on the planets, missions, the quests, the fully voiced quest, FOIP and VoIP, you know, the rovers, actually loading a rover onto a ship, an Idris battle, Idris versus Idris. There were a ton of really cool things, and I just want to focus on a few things here and there. One of the things that was really missing for me, though, in this presentation was the cargo system. You guys know me, I've been waiting for cargo for a while. That's one of the big things I want to do. That's why I got a Starfarer, is to be able to load that sucker up with cargo. And then I hear, you know, you won't be able to manually load cargo, it'll just happen automatically, and then you will manually. And I was really looking forward to, especially with the item 2.0 in there, to see what's going on with the cargo system. But we didn't really see any of that, and it may or may not come for 3.0. I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that maybe in some semblance of a way it will show up for 3.0. Likely it will in the sort of a quest mission type where it's just like, hey, transport this stuff, it's already loaded on your ship, yada yada, and then maybe they'll improve from there. But the big thing with 3.0 is the planetary stuff, and that's what the biggest issue they've seen with development is them getting that ready. And I feel like it looked really good. There were a lot of areas that you know, when they actually showed it off lifting from the planet, Chris Roberts actually said that this one crater off on the side, which was relatively small, was the entire Skyrim, was bigger than the entire Skyrim map. While it's not as filled with shit as the Skyrim map, it gave you kind of a sense of scale and how big these planets actually are, and asteroids. And I really cannot wait to actually get down there and explore, see what kind of derelict wrecks, points of interest are on there. And I think it's going to add just so much more things you can do into the game, actually get down there and move into the planet, along with dropping down, getting into the rover, and just kind of going around and exploring, and just getting into some atmospheric combat would be really awesome. And along with that, they showed off the new mobiGlas stuff, where you can actually the mobiGlas has some meaning now, and it's actually pretty cool. And, you know, that was something that needed to be done. And I feel like a lot of these things that they're pushing for now are going to make development a little bit easier, because it was kind of like a big hurdle they had to get through. And once, you know, this is out, all the bugs are out, you know, 3.0 has been out for a while, they can add more systems, more planets easily, you know, and they can kind of focus on getting more ships in, because there's a lot of ships that are in the store that aren't in the game yet. And I believe that's definitely something that, you know, should start happening soon. We should start getting some more ships. Also, buying ships is coming, not at 3.0, but they said some point a little later down the road, maybe beginning 2018. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm not going to say 2017. It's probably 2018, Q1 2018, to where you can actually buy ships in-game and not with real money. And I think that's you know, that'll draw a lot more people into it. Two of the big things, though, that I saw with this was the VoIP. The VoIP was definitely something that I thought was really cool, and how it changes, you know, it's directional sound, distance sound, and also when you have your helmet on, it'll actually switch to like a comms radio. And also when you pop up with your mobiGlas, you'll be able to talk to the person through there. The next big thing that they showed off was the FOIP, the Face over Internet Protocol. And that to me was awesome, because it takes your webcam and it transmits your facial movements to your character in game. And not only that, the big thing for me was it actually tracks your head movement and correlates it in game. So it's kind of like a track IR. If you look left in real life a little bit, you'll look left in game. And that's a big game changer. And I think this is something pretty special, because a lot of people say, I would love track IR. I see it all the time. I love track IR, but it's $150. Shit's expensive. And with this system in Star Citizen, you can literally get the cheapest webcam possible. Not saying it's, I don't know if it's relevant on how the webcams are going to work, but just saying, you know, in retrospect, you could probably get the cheapest webcam possible, and all of a sudden have no longer any need for Track IR. And Track IR support hasn't been around for Star Citizen for a while. They might have recently added it, I don't know, but they stopped supporting it for a while, and I feel like this is the reason why they did. And I think it's something really awesome, and I'm really looking forward to it. Along with the planets, actually going into the atmosphere and seeing, you know, the heat build up on the ship as it's going into the atmosphere was something awesome. I you know, that's one of the things that I really think. And, you know, it's not going to be something you're going to see at 3.0, but I would really like to see to where you have to angle your ship correctly to dissipate the heat into the atmosphere so you don't burn up. And I think that would be a really cool aspect to where if you don't re-enter the right way, you're going to burn up and just destroy your ship. You know, and that's something really cool. And a lot of the areas, the planets, especially the new areas, the landing pads on the planets, looked amazing. There was just so much shit around. It's the AI you could actually see walking around, so everything's not a ghost town anymore. You can actually kind of see people walking around for once, kind of doing their own freaking thing, and it feels like there's a little more life in the universe instead of seeing the one random person. And to me, that was something cool. I really am looking forward to the planets, and to actually see them more in action was awesome. The next thing was the quests, actually getting missions, you know, fully voiced missions, such as, I think they said there's going to be a couple hundred variations of things you can do, whether it's go and retrieve. They showed off one where you had to retrieve a black box, and there may or may not have been like cartel guys that were going to try to intercept you there, even though it was role played out. I assume that, you know, that those kind of missions will happen. Well, you know, go check out this wreck, grab something from it, and pirates come in and try to fuck you up, and stuff like that. Or, you know, deliver this, or find this person, or kill this bounty. And they were all fully voiced quests, which is really cool. So you actually sit down, you get to talk to somebody, and it's not just, hey, oh, here, accept this mission, stuff like that. And I think it's pretty cool. Also, when you got down to the planets, and especially with the Idris landing, when the Idris landed, seeing the dust just kick up, you know, from the thrusters was amazing. And, you know, that's cool. I think that's a really cool touch. I mean, they could have just cut corners and been like, we don't need that, you know, not right now. We'll throw it in a year from now. But to actually see them put it in was something awesome. And then having the rover get in and out, and you know, actually driving around with the rover and going and exploring these wrecks. And these wrecks were actually filled with shit. It's not like they were just, you know, a broken up hulk of a ship and you had to go grab one thing. There was stuff all over the place. And hopefully some of that stuff is actually lootable that you could actually get, maybe sell it. I don't know, maybe that would be something cool to where you could actually go and salvage from these ships and actually make some sort of money from it, and actually give a reason to actually go around some of these ships. But no sandworm. I was kind of hoping for a sandworm attack there. Never saw it, but I'm kind of hoping that comes around eventually. But another thing they showed off was the railgun, the personal railgun that you can hold. And they actually had a spot where they were getting attacked, and the person in the back of the rover had the door open and took out a cutlass with this railgun in like one shot. And that is awesome, because I've done a lot of combat outside my ship, and all of a sudden the ship rolls up and you just realize how screwed you are sometimes with some of the weapons you have. And I feel like the railgun's a kind of a game changer. It's going to make you have to look out for that person maybe floating around. And it might become a little metagamey too with these railguns one-shotting ships, but who knows. But the main thing I saw, and this is something definitely down the line, same with the FOIP and the VoIP, are definitely a little more way past 3.0, but the Idris. The Idris, you know, it had an issue with the rover not being able to get on the ramp and the rover just getting crushed, which was hilarious. I thought it was fucking hilarious. You know, people were like, but I thought it was hilarious. But actually seeing the interior of the Idris was just amazing, and how big this ship actually is. We have a few guys in my group that I roll with for Star Citizen that have multiple Idrises. So to see that thing, and actually, you know, we're going to be spending a lot of time when the Idris is actually out in the Idris going around and messing stuff up. So actually seeing it and actually kind of seeing it in action for once was just the icing on the cake for this presentation. I really have just more hyped for Star Citizen than I've ever been. Even though I know it's going to be down the line, it's probably not going to be till sometime next year that maybe you might get the touch in Idris. I'm just still really hyped for it. And now onto the Idris versus Idris battle, and actually watching the fighters launch from the hangar and that giant ass railgun in the front engaging the other Idris. And actually at some point you could see the holes caused by this railgun in the front of the other Idris. And it was just amazing. I thought it was probably one of the coolest freaking things. And it just gets me really super psyched for this game. I cannot wait until 3.0 and beyond. I feel like we've been sitting on 2.6 now for a while, and I really feel like 3.0 is going to bring a lot of people back in. Even though, you know, nothing with mining was really showed off, and I know that's something, a post 3.0 goal in its basic form, and I feel like that'll definitely bring some people in. They also showed off the 600i, which is kind of a larger origin ship, kind of similar to the Jump. But it had an exploration bit to it. But at the same time, there's no real reason in the near future to do exploration stuff. And I feel like even though the 600i is cool and luxurious, I would much rather get the Karak if it's going to come to exploration because of how big it actually is. And it's kind of seems more on the radar than everything else. But honestly, Star Citizen definitely blew my mind with this presentation. 3.0 is going to be amazing. I'm hearing 3.0 is going to be the beginning of September, so hopefully soon. Fingers crossed, no more delays. We can actually get on the planets and actually do some missions and stuff, and it's just going to be a blast. But down in the link below, I'm putting the whole presentation so you guys can watch it. I'm just putting little clips of parts that I thought were really awesome in it. They may not correlate to what I'm saying at that exact moment because it was a lot to cover. But I'm telling you, you know, as much as there are naysayers of Star Citizen, this game is going to be something special. They don't cut corners. They take their time. They're not afraid to delay stuff. And some of the stuff that they show off is just massively awesome. And I'm super excited for it.